Scritchy Scratchy is a game where you can earn money by buying lottery tickets. For each ticket, the probabilities of different symbols are known in advance, but the actual payout is uncertain. Some tickets aren't worth buying until a certain point, while others, like this cute kitten, can drain your balance and even bankrupt you if you are not careful. I'll show you the expected value of each ticket, how it changes depending on your scratch luck level, provide tables with payouts based on ticket upgrades, and walk you through the calculations I used. But before we jump into the tickets, we need to understand one key concept: expected value. Expected value, or simply EV, is the average outcome of an action that involves probabilities. The formula is simple. You take each possible outcome, multiply it by its probability, and sum everything up. EV is used to determine whether a decision is actually worth it. Okay, let me show you an example. Imagine you're offered a game. You pay $100 to play, and then you flip a coin. If it lands heads, you get $500. If it lands tails, you lose $200. So is this a good deal? Let's calculate the expected value. Since there are only two outcomes, the EV has just two terms. The probability of heads is 0.5, and the probability of tails is also 0.5. Plugging this into the formula, we get the following calculation. This means that on average, each game returns $150. Since it costs $100 to play, your expected profit is $50 per game. Now, when we understand how EV works, let me explain the methodology I used to calculate EV for tickets. If you are only interested in the final numbers, you can use the timestamps in the description. In my calculations, I made an assumption that isn't explicitly described in the game's mechanics, but I'm confident it exists. Once a winning combination appears, those symbols no longer show up again. For example, by my experience in tickets like Mini Scratch, the same symbol never appeared more than 3 times. In this particular case, it doesn't affect EV, because once you hit a 3-symbol combination, no further combinations are possible and the remaining symbols don't matter. However, in tickets like Quick Cash, this constraint actually increases the EV, because the 4 remaining slots can still produce another winning combination. So here is the assumption I used. The ticket generates symbols sequentially. If a winning combination appears, those symbols stop generating, and their probability is redistributed among the remaining symbols. On the screen, you can see an example where 3 diamonds have already appeared, so the probability of getting a 4th diamond becomes 0. Since the total probability must always add up to 100%, the original 35% chance for diamonds is redistributed proportionally among the remaining symbols. As a result, the probability of banknotes increases from 19% to 29%, and the chance of getting another winning combination increases as well. This is why the EV rises under this assumption. This hidden mechanic makes analytical EV calculations practically impossible for some tickets. I divided the tickets into 2 categories: those where probabilities can be calculated analytically, and those where their calculations are complicated by the game's mechanics. For the complicated ones, it's much easier and faster to estimate probabilities using Monte Carlo simulations, which I implemented in Python. For each ticket and each luck level, I ran 2 million simulations to estimate both EV and jackpot probabilities. Now, let's move on the tickets themselves and the actual calculations. Let's start with the first ticket. It costs $10 and is available almost from the very beginning of the game. The ticket has 3 slots, and you need to match 2 identical symbols to win. The EV for this ticket can be calculated directly using the formula. Based on this, we can easily compute both the EV and the expected profit for different ticket levels. So here are the tables of EV and expected profit. As a reminder, each time the ticket level increases by 1, all payouts are multiplied by 1.3. So, to estimate the expected profit at any level, we simply take the EV at level 0 and multiply it by 1.3 in the power of ticket level, and then subtract the cost of ticket. This ticket is profitable at any luck level and at any ticket level. Please note that beyond a certain luck level, EV no longer increases. So if the table ends, it means the last row represents the maximum EV for this ticket, and the probabilities remain unchanged from that point on. The next ticket is also in the first catalog and costs $100. It has 5 slots and you need to match 3 identical symbols to win. The EV for this ticket can also be calculated analytically, even though more than 3 identical symbols never appear. This ticket is always profitable, and at ticket level 10 with luck level 4, it returns on average 120 times it costs. Apple Tree is the first ticket where you can actually start losing money. It costs 2000 and has 5 slots, with each symbol paying out a different reward. With low initial win probabilities, there is also a chance to get a ticket with a negative outcome. Each symbol can appear any number of times. Here is an example with 4 apples. I didn't bother looking for 5. Calculating EV for this type of ticket is quite straightforward. Since each slot is independent, we can compute the EV for a single slot and then multiply it by the total number of slots. At the first 2 luck levels, this ticket is always unprofitable. After that, it becomes possible to make a profit. Interestingly, even at maximum luck level and ticket level 10, the return is only about 60 times the cost, which is significantly lower than what we saw with the previous ticket. Quick Cash is the first ticket in the list for which I calculated EV using simulations. It costs $10,000, has 7 slots and requires 3 matching symbols to win. If you are lucky, you can get 2 winning combinations on a single ticket. I implemented the simulation in the following script. I initially used ChatGPT to help me with it, but after reviewing the code myself, everything looks correct. Both EV and expected profit for this ticket are always positive. As you upgrade it, the ticket can return up to 700 times its cost. All the following tickets are analyzed using the same approach. I'll be showing tables with the results, along with the formulas and scripts I used. Let me know in the comments if you'd like a more detailed breakdown of each ticket with step-by-step explanations. And if you find this useful, consider liking the video and subscribing. I put a lot of effort into these calculations and would love to keep doing this kind of content.